Welcome everyone. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. The Karnataka conundrum is not ending for the Congress party. It's been 3 days of meetings and negotiations in the national capital after the results came out. And still there is no consensus on who should be the next chief minister. Until today morning, it seemed Siddaramaiah was leading the race for obvious reasons. He met Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress chief, and even Rahul Gandhi. Sources say Siddaramaiah gave a list of the MLAs who are supporting him to KC Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala, and we are led to believe that he has the majority of the MLAs' support. He even reminded the party about the support of various communities he has behind him. But the story didn't end there. A few minutes later, DK Shivkumar also met Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. Congress sources revealed that Shivkumar was offered the Deputy Chief Minister's post, which he has outrightly rejected. Instead, he proposed Mallikarjun Kharge's name for the top job, as all the MLAs would be agreeable to that. After this DKS twister, Siddaramaiah's plan is now on shaky ground. Both DK and Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah have been asked to continue in Delhi till this issue is resolved. The fight so far is between these two, but senior Congress leaders also now believe that if this deadlock continues, the High Command should look at a third, more agreeable candidate. So on the Congress, will the Congress be able to walk this tightrope is the big question. And who will they be willing to upset? For the Congress, the immediate concern is forming a government, making sure they can start to deliver on their big promises, and then also worry about the 2024 general elections in the state. So fundamentally, the choice for the Congress is this. Between Sidda and DKS, who can damage them more in 2024 if not made the chief minister? Mind you, a lot of what happens here in Karnataka will also reflect on other states where Congress ranks are already facing a revolt, particularly Rajasthan. So can the Congress party find a solution which effectively avoids a rerun of Rajasthan? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. These are some of the latest pictures of both the Congress contenders. On one side is Siddaramaiah with Rahul Gandhi. He also met Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, as I mentioned. His meeting with both leaders lasted for not more than a few minutes. On the other side is DK Shivkumar flexing his muscles in the national capital. DK Shivkumar's meeting with Kharge lasted for a few hours, which makes it apparent that he is not willing to give in just yet. Let's also take a quick look at the available options before the Congress party. So scenario one is that there is this power sharing formula which has been talked about, it has been mooted, where Siddaramaiah and DKS are made chief ministers on a rotational basis, first Sidda, then DK. Obviously, by now, no one in the Congress party, and certainly not someone like DKS, will accept this. He has cited Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh as failed examples. Second scenario, Siddaramaiah is made the chief minister, DK Shivkumar is made the deputy chief minister, which would be, easiest formulation. But DK Shivkumar is unwilling to settle for the deputy post. He has clearly rejected this offer. Scenario 3, DK Shivkumar is announced as the new Karnataka chief minister. Then the problem for the Congress party is that Siddaramaiah, who's opposed to this move, it would be difficult to accommodate him because, this is anyways his swan song. And he doesn't really want anything else. He cannot be placated with anything else in the chief minister's post. Fourth scenario, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, who was once denied this position as the Karnataka chief minister, is announced as the chief minister this time. It may be that he could emerge as a consensus candidate if the deadlock is not broken, but both Sidda and DKS camps are not going to be very enthused with this, and like I said, they have 2024 to contend with immediately. Amidst all of this, former Congress President Sonia Gandhi apparently dialed both the contenders. We are told Sonia Gandhi assured DK Shivkumar that there will be justice for him. She informed him that his loyalty and sacrifice will be rewarded. On the other hand, Siddaramaiah was asked to ensure that there is no public bickering. He was also informed to maintain balance in obviously the government formation and to deliver on the promises which the Congress has made. But a lot has changed since then, because while it seemed at one point that Siddaramaiah was going to be the candidate for the chief minister's post, it is not really a done deal as we speak, and the matter is definitely looking like it's been postponed till tomorrow. At least when we were hearing the swearing in could already take place. Is there a twist in the tail? I don't know. But here's the big question we're asking today. Can the Congress party avoid a Rajasthan rerun?
a matter of today or tomorrow, and we will have a new leader of the Congress Legislature Party. Within next 48 to 72 hours, we'll have a new cabinet in Karnataka.
First up, I want to go across to our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, who tracks the Congress party and, of course, has been tracking the back and forth that's taking place in the higher echelons of the Congress decision-making powers corridor. Pallavi, as we stand, I don't think it's a done deal, isn't it? It would be very perilous for any one of us to believe any kind of information coming in from one camp or the other till somebody higher up in the Congress party comes out and says that this is what it is.
Yes, absolutely. It's not done till it's actually done. And there have been so many twists and turns, so many threats. And, of course, it also does make the Congress top leadership look a little vulnerable, also a little helpless as they're watching on. And they are admitting that basically the problem is now at the point that the two main contenders, and they happen to be the only two contenders, which is DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah at loggerheads. Neither of them are blinking. Both of them seem completely averse to each other. And that bonhomie we saw during the campaign where both of them were interviewing each other, chatting together, laughing and joking. All of that is now clearly a thing of the past. And if the Congress doesn't find a solution, if one of the two doesn't agree, then there's a third option, and no name, of course, has been decided or even discussed as yet, Shivani. But clearly the third option is also now going to begin to be discussed.
But can I just ask you, Pallavi, is it to be taken that the decision finally has been left to the Congress chief, Mallikarjun Kharge, who's experienced himself as far as these negotiations go, back in 2013, what happened in Karnataka, and he's, of course, the current Congress chief who hails from Karnataka. Is it ultimately going to be his decision?
Well, it's going to be one of the toughest decisions, and frankly speaking, I think the Gandhis also really want to wash their hands of it because it's bound to be murky, and even if we see some kind of a truce, I doubt if it's going to last very, very long. Mallikarjun Kharge, of course, has an advantage. He belongs to the state. Language is not a problem, so it's going to be easy for him to kind of talk to them. But more than that, I mean, he's a veteran from the state, so he understands the caste combinations. He knows the repercussions of any decision which can be going wrong. And also that put a pressure on him because he knows the wrong decision, something which could boomerang later, will be seen as one of his biggest failure, and that too in his home state. I mean, his son, of course, is an MLA. He has a political future. Even if Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge thinks of retirement at some point of time, he certainly wouldn't want that egg on his face moment or anything to go wrong, which is why I think he's being very, very careful, taking all inputs, whether it's from the state in charge, whether it's from the General Secretary, meeting the MLAs, of course, and from the Gandhi family, particularly Rahul Gandhi, and of course DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah.
All right. Pallavi, just stay with me as I open this up with our guests, because as I said, it's not a done deal and a lot of deliberations are still yet to take place. Mohan Krishna, BJP leader from the state, is joining us. Sujata Paul of the Congress party. R. Rajagopalan is senior journalist. Sanjay Jha, political analyst, who's been formerly with the Congress, is also with us. So, Sanjay Jha, what is the choice here? What is the bottom line here? I feel the bottom line here is, if you upset someone, who can hurt you more before 2024? So, I think they like to pick the person who can hurt them the least.
Well, Shivani, I think the Congress has to bite the bullet sooner rather than later. It is always a challenge because there's only one key position and there are two claimants to that job, and both of them believe that they have done a fantastic one, and they have. I think both of them have actually put up a remarkable performance. I don't think they were pretending. I don't think they were putting on some kind of a farcical drama. They were working together because they realized that if the Congress is to win, both DK with his organizational muscle and Mr. Siddaramaiah, who's an extremely popular leader in Karnataka, have to play ball together. They both have to tango together. I think this is a leadership test for Mr. Kharge, because let me tell you, Shivani, you and I have debated this quite often on your very popular program, that Rajasthan is, in my opinion, the first acid test for Mr. Kharge, which he still hasn't been able to crack. And in fact, is ballooning a little, unpleasantly in different directions. This is his own home state and a very critical victory for the Congress. This can really change the national mood for all opposition parties for 2024. So the Congress needs to recognize that this is not just about whether it's Siddaramaiah or DK. It's about sending out a message that the opposition can defeat Narendra Modi, and in my opinion,
They'll worry about all of those optics later, no, Sanjay. First, they have to figure out how to keep their own party people happy. And which camp are they willing to upset more? I understand the point you're making, but I feel like this is Mr. Kharge's first big challenge because I think Rajasthan was a situation that had already become quite murky by the time he took charge as the Congress chief. So let's give him that benefit of doubt. But yes, Sujata Paul, I want to come to you. The Congress has the right to take as long as it takes. And of course, it's not unprecedented. There are sometimes difficult choices to be made when you have good contenders and top contenders in a state. But you would concede that it's not looking very good that you get such a mandate and then your house is so divided.
Only 4 days have passed and this speculation and planted stories are in very poor taste because they're coming from the BJP camp who are poor losers. And why do I say that? Because I'll take you back to 2017 in Uttar Pradesh. If you remember, the results came out on 11th March and the oath-taking ceremony took place on 19th March. And after this dispute between Manoj Sinha, Keshav Prasad Maurya and Adityanath. Let me give you another example. Assam, the results came out on 2nd May 2021 and the oath-taking ceremony took place on 10th May. And of course, the dispute was between Sarbananda Sonowal and Himanta Biswa Sarma. And of course, if you remember 2022 assembly elections of Uttar Pradesh, photos of Mr. Modi were removed from the social media handles of Mr. Adityanath. He had stopped receiving phone calls of the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister apparently, according to media reports, wanted a retired IS officer to become the Deputy Chief Minister. Having said that, let me come to what is happening here. Results were announced on 13th May. And as per the Constitution of India and the wishes of Congress President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge ji and Rahul Gandhi ji, a process was set in motion. And what was this process? Sushil Kumar Shinde ji, along with other observers, were appointed on 14th May, and they took a meeting of the newly elected legislators on the 14th itself. On 15th May, the meetings continued right through the night and 14th night, and on 15th May, they reached Delhi, the observers, and gave their report to the Congress president. Just one more minute. So on 16th May, the Congress president met all the senior leaders of the Karnataka, and on 17th May, that is today, this is continuing. So you will come to know the result tomorrow, today or tomorrow. So let's hold our horses because the results are going to be soon,
you gave me
and we haven't taken too much of time.
Timeline. I'm aware of that timeline. This is what we do. We track the timeline. We have been tracking the story, so you need not remind me. My question to you was entirely different. Do you believe that this is, hurting a little bit of the bond of the euphoria? Certainly, that euphoria seems to be like a thing of the past now, and hard calculations have to be done. And like I said, you are well within your right to take as much time as you need to take. But if there was a process and if there was a predefined process, then it shouldn't take that long. Before I go to our BJP representative, let me go to R. Rajagopalan, who's also seen his fair share of deliberations take place for Chief Ministerial's post. Is this looking like this is hurting the Congress party? By hurting, I don't mean this could hurt their election, their election plans or anything, but just the fact that they knew this was coming. They knew they had two leaders who were both strong, who were contributing to their campaign, who would both want to be chief minister, but it seems they weren't quite prepared to handle that deadlock.
A remarkable victory of Congress and a remarkable victory for Bharat Jodo Yatra, a remarkable victory of DK Shivakumar. Whatever you said and done, you asked a question about euphoria. My understanding of Karnataka is euphoria is evaporating. Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge was a tall leader. Mallikarjun Kharge tried to resolve certain issues. He is taking sides. That is the complaint of Mr. DK Shivakumar. DK Shivakumar says Mallikarjun Kharge is not helping him. He is siding with one section. Therefore, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is under a big test. His leadership quality, he is not strong enough to resolve his own state crisis. Apart from that, now the ball is in Rahul Gandhi's court. He is also unable to resolve the crisis. Rahul Gandhi miserably failed, though the Bharat Jodo Yatra was very successful.
But this is not quite Rahul Gandhi's call, no. I think Rahul Gandhi has made it clear. He told the Congress chief that you decide, this is your job.
No. Then why do you go to Rahul Gandhi again? Then the letter should have gone to Governor of Karnataka, Mr. Theravant Gehlot, not to Rahul Gandhi. You should have tapped the door.
No, obviously, in this situation, Rajagopalan, both DK Shivkumar and Mallikarjun Kharge will like to get Mr. Rahul Gandhi on their side.
No, apart from that, that means Mallikarjun Kharge miserably failed. Rahul Gandhi slipped out of his authority. Earlier, there were photos of Sachin Pilot and Mr. Ashok Gehlot together. Why there is no photo coming up today with DK Shivkumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah together? Why the three? Therefore, this Navagraha, 9 grahas are seeing one side, opposite, another side, different side, left, right, side, upper, niche. ये क्या हो रहा है? कर्नाटका में एक बिल्कुल ड्रामा है. It is a failure of Congress leadership, failure of Gandhi's performance.
Okay, I'll give Sujata Paul a quick opportunity to respond before I go across to Mohan Krishna. Sujata, let me pose that question to you one more time. You knew this was coming. Now, if there is a set formula by which you do this, then it shouldn't have been so hard. And everybody believes that set formula can only be who has more of the MLAs backing him.
You're absolutely correct, and that's what we are taking our time about. I've told you about the process, and 4 days is not so hard to wait. When you could wait for 8 days in Assam and also in Uttar Pradesh. Now, you know what Mr. Ram Gopal was talking about. Let me remind him, Kharge ji is more successful than JP Nadda ji. How? Because in his area of Kalyan, he won 26 seats out of 40, while Mr. JP Nadda could manage only 24 out of 68 seats of Himachal Pradesh. So that's how capable our Congress president is.
Okay.
And of course, dramebaz is correct. Pradhan Mantri is the dramebaz. Pradhan Mantri is the dramebaz.
Congress is talking about. Congress is in crisis. Congress is in crisis. Drama is in Congress.
And that
Congress should have come out openly and created an atmosphere where there should be a congressman. Congress is very much not in difficult situation. That Congress gone all for all. Therefore, there is no question of Congress. Therefore, what is that? Why? The history, you are talking about history. Where is Congress? 7 crore voters have voted. What happened to that?
5 years of misgovernance, 5 years of ill governance.
Okay.
And this is what we come to. 3.5 years they were in power, but what did they do? 5 years they planned.
But all of that is over, Sujata Paul. You won a mandate.
That's what I'm telling him.
That's a done deal. All of that is over. One second. I'm just trying to understand what is the process. And I think I'm fair in asking that question, because if that process was taking the MLA's will into account, I think that answer was given to the Congress chiefs. But in any case, Mohan Krishna, please come in. How do you look at this conundrum for the Congress party? And it's almost surprising. Can I just ask you, it's almost interesting that some of those who had defected from the Congress to the BJP are today talking about how Siddaramaiah was guilty of bringing their Congress JDS government down. It seems like even on ground, there is, even in non-Congress MLAs or people who are not even MLAs who lost their elections are seeming to support DKS more. They find him more worthy than Mr. Siddaramaiah, who's already enjoyed, as I quote a Congress leader, quote unquote, fruits of power for 14 years.
Shivani, thank you very much for giving me time to speak to you all. It's very interesting, you know. I want to just tell Sujata Paul and Sanjay Jha, who is an ardent supporter of Congress. In Karnataka, Congress has given 5 guarantees. The 6th important one they have failed to give. That is, who will become the CM. They had 2 coins and 1 coin they are not able to make. 2 coins they are not able to make 1. That's the beauty of the Congress. Coming to the point what Sujata Paul was making. JP Nadda is a failure. Come on, Sujata, just look at your back. Look at your back. He has won 17 states. What did Kharge do?
He has.
Just one state
I think
and another state in
by
Karnataka.
bringing
That
down
too by giving
governments,
freebies.
that's how you've come into
Let's
power.
forget it. Okay.
JP Nadda
Let
is
us
a
come to the point
failure,
of
he's
High
a
Command.
puppet.
High Command of
That's
High
what
Command
Mr.
of
JP
Congress.
Nadda is.
I have not intervened when you are
The
talking.
High
I
Command
did not
of
intervene.
Congress,
I did not
the
intervene.
Congress
I
president
did not
has won
intervene.
more
Please
seats
stop
in
talking.
his
I did
home
not
Okay.
intervene.
region
Please stop talking.
compared to Mr.
I did
JP
not
Nadda
intervene.
in his
Sujata.
home state.
What is it?
He
Sujata,
lost
you
his
made
home
that point. I'm not sure why you're going
Khagenian
discussing
won
JP
his home
Nadda. We're
state.
not discussing JP Nadda. When we don't, no, one second. I don't understand this about the Congress party. When we don't talk about the Congress party, you say you don't talk about the Congress party. When I'm talking about the Congress party, you're bringing in the BJP president into this. Come on.
He was talking
Come on,
about
Sujata.
BJP. I was sitting quiet.
Anyway,
He is
Mohan,
the
no,
one
let him speak.
who
Let him
is
have
getting
his
put
time.
down.
Sujata Paul, please
Mohan,
don't
this is
speak over the
unfair.
other guests. Let
This is
Mohan Krishna
unfair.
have his time. Yes, Mohanji.
Poor thing.
See, Sujata was making a point that BJP has taken 8 days time in
Yes.
UP, 7 days in Assam. Everything is fine.
It is.
But I appreciate their process. Let the process go. Let whoever become the chief minister be. I mean, we welcome them. We will welcome the verdict of the people. All these things are there. Why Mr. Surjewala, what work he has got to talk about fake news about BJP? Their own people, Siddaramaya's people are doing it, Shivani. Tell Congress people they are doing it. उन लोगों ने करके सुरजेवाला के कान में बोला है, बीजेपी वाले बोल दिया करो. ये स्ट्रेटेजी है.
RSS का
अभी
तो काम है
बीजेपी को
conspire
बोलना
करना.
स्ट्रेटेजी हो गया इन लोगों को. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. Second thing, she was talking about what? She was talking about what? High command is very strong. This is one of the weakest high command Congress we have seen. Have you not seen, Shivani? Let Sanjay Jha explain this to, and Mr. Rajgopal explain this to the people of India. High command of Congress today is so weak.
You can't
Rahul
digest
Gandhi is not able to
Dalit,
take decision.
a Dalit
Sonia Gandhi
Congress
is not able to
president. You are
take decision.
anti-Dalit.
Kharge ji is a
And that
puppet
why you
president who will not take
tolerate
decision.
One
Mr.
second.
Kharge.
Where is the
That is why
high command
your-
there? Where is
your
the high
leader
command?
said
You
that
tell me.
he would
Sujata,
wipe
don't
off
shout.
the family of
Don't
Mr.
get
Kharge.
angry.
That
Don't
is
get
why
angry.
your
When you spoke
Rajasthan
about BJP, I was
MLA
sitting
said
quiet.
that he's 80
I was sitting
and
quiet.
God will
You have to
take
sit
him away
quiet and
any
listen.
time.
The
This is
best
your
part of
mentality.
conversation is
You
listening.
hate Dalits.
You have to
You
listen.
are
All right, I think both of you are digressing. One second. I don't want this to be the usual Congress and BJP pre-election match. That election is done. It's dusted. Let's just accept the results and look forward. Sanjay Jha, my question to you is this. In Rajasthan, an issue that you and I have debated quite often, you feel that Sachin Pilot deserved more from the Congress party. He's their young face. He worked hard. He got them a victory. And you could argue that he's the future of the party, and Congress has seen enough exits of young blood. They can't really afford to lose more. Could the same issue apply to Karnataka? Where, for example, some in the Congress party believe that Siddaramaya, who wasn't even from the Congress all his political life, has enjoyed enough fruits of power. This is DKS's time. He's the organizational man. He's the one who will need him in 2024. So he should be rewarded this time, even if it upsets Siddaramaya. Sanjay Jha.
Shivani, I'll try and answer various questions raised during the program as succinctly as possible. Number one, I think, politics, intra-party dynamics is the name of the game. You are not just competing against BJP. There are always in every political party, there is going to be a tussle for who ought to be the captain of the ship. And that's natural and par for the course. It means that you have the talent or the leadership to take the party forward in whichever state. So let's not look at this DK versus Siddaramaya as something unusual. It's happening in every party and actually it's good for a healthy democracy. Point number two, I think the Congress actually has done a very good job in having a secret ballot which has already been done. My friends in the Congress tell me that the basic negotiation now is going to be not just about who's the chief minister, or who's a deputy chief minister or whatever, but about the allocation of the portfolios to the teams that have supported Mr. Shivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaya. The third point, very important, I don't want to indulge in whataboutery, but please remember when Mr. Adityanath became the chief minister, he was not even an MLA. He was actually superimposed into the Uttar Pradesh,
Yeah, he
political
wasn't
roadmap.
amongst the list that anybody was talking about.
Yeah, but you think about it. I live in Maharashtra, Shivani. For 1 month in a state like Maharashtra, India's most manufacturing, industrial, investment banking driven state, probably the economic powerhouse, you had Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde running the state for over 4 weeks, over a month. There was no cabinet. Even Yadurappa, when in 2019 they toppled the Congress government through Operation Lotus, you had no cabinet there for a month.
But
You
this
had
is
no
a different
government
situation,
at all.
Sanjay Jha. You've got a clear mandate of 135 MLAs.
I agree.
You shouldn't be in
I
this
agree with you.
situation.
And I want to add that point, Shivani,
Yeah.
that the BJP is not a benchmark. I think the BJP is, in my opinion, pathetic in governance, and I think they have destroyed India's democratic polity.
Okay, but that
The
wasn't my
Congress
question
set
to you.
its own
I'm not
benchmark.
making the BJP the benchmark. Every party works differently. My question to you was, would it be better for the Congress to go with someone who's younger and is obviously an organizer like DKS than someone like Siddaramaiah who's anyways in his last stint? Now you would want to honor it, that would be great, but if you put, in between a rock and a tough place, would you rather they sided with DKS, who's their future in the state, rather than Siddaramaiah, who's enjoyed power beforehand?
Unfortunately, politics is so complicated. I mean, Rajasthan and Karnataka, again, apples and oranges. I mean, there is a reality that Mr. Siddaramaiah may be older, but a very established administrator and somebody who has a great influence across sections of not just communities, but people from different income levels, etc. So I think it's not an easy call.
It is not, and I don't think Mr. Kharge has an enviable position right now. It's an unenviable position right now for Mr. Kharge. We must accept that it's a complex decision. My only point was, Mohan Krishna, as you come in, that maybe the Congress should have seen this coming. If they were preparing for a win, as they were, then they should have been prepared for the fact that this is exactly the position they'll find themselves in. Yes, Mohan Krishna, then final word to R. Rajagopalan.
Absolutely, you are right in making that point.
Wait is on us.
When they were preparing for elections, when they have prepared to see that the 140 seats we will win, at the same time they should have given the guarantee to the people of Karnataka that who is going to be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. I am not bothered about they will take 1 month, as Mr. Jha was talking about. BJP is not the benchmark. Congress will never be the benchmark for anybody in the country. Congress will never be the benchmark for anybody in the country. That is why Sanjay Jha has also been suspended and he has been put in his place.
Okay, let's not make this about him.
Let him not speak about BJP. Let him not speak about BJP.
That's what the
Coming
BJP
to the
can
point,
do.
we are a democratic country. We are a democratic party. Our inner
And you are a
democracy is very high.
non-democratic party.
And our
believe in
party
only
has
one
a
man.
president and chief
give
minister.
me chance
We
to
will
speak.
announce, or if it is not done, we will take appropriate time and we will do it in a right manner. But we are not contemplating on what we have done and why Congress is not doing. We are not asking that question.
Okay, Sujata
The
Paul, very
question is
quickly, 30
very
seconds.
simple.
I have to give R.
Yes.
Rajagopalan the final word.
Let them
These are
solve
the
their
people,
problem.
Shivani, who have given 2 chief ministers in 3.5 years. And
Okay.
they've given ill governance and misgovernance, and they're talking about benchmark.
about ill
Yes,
governance.
you are not the
For
benchmark
ill
for this
governance of
country.
yours,
The
for
benchmark
55
of the
years,
Congress is the
people have
benchmark
thrown
of
you
the
out from
Congress.
the Lok
Keep
Sabha.
your benchmarks to
Lok
yourself.
Sabha, you have been
The
thrown
fact
out.
is
You
that
have been brought to
Karnataka
40
will
seats
get
from
a
400
great
seats.
CM
Where were
after
you then?
deliberations
You are
are
talking of
completed.
misgovernance of
And
BJP.
the BJP
This
should stay
governance of
out
Congress
of
is
this,
highest in
because
the
this is
country.
not about
Because of
BJP.
that, you have
Okay.
been
BJP
thrown
has
the
been
doors.
thrown
You
out
will
of
be thrown the
governance
doors
by the
everywhere.
people of
This is the
Karnataka.
All right,
awareness
Sujata Paul, I agree with you. This isn't so much about the BJP, so let's not make this about the BJP. Why don't you talk
Yes,
about your
so the
party?
BJP should stay out.
Okay.
Stay out of this.
Okay, all right. Anyways, R. Rajagopalan, I want to come to you. What is the better choice for the Congress party here? It is a complex choice, no doubt. But what do you think would be better in the long term for them?
In the long term, I consider that Mallikarjun Kharge should be made as chief minister and two DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah to be made as deputy chief ministers. Otherwise, like Ashok Gehlot told Mr. Sachin Pilot
His
that he is a
astrology has gone
Desdrohi.
haywire.
Similarly, Mallikarjun Kharge will also say that, they will tap the phone of DK Shivkumar and also
Gopal
Mr.
ji,
Sujata ji, not
go
like
and
this.
study your
Please,
astrology.
please,
Okay.
don't speak
And he
over other
talks about
people.
Navagraha.
You had
His
your turn,
Navagraha
Sujata ji,
have
not
gone
like
here and
this.
there.
I gave you enough time, please. Now, not every time can you speak over other guests. R. Rajagopalan, please finish.
Congress, the euphoria has evaporated, I repeat it, because this Mallikarjun Kharge leadership, I feel it is very pathetic as Mr. Sanjay Jha says, I am also saying that Congress leadership is very pathetic, and also Mr. Rahul Gandhi is trying to run as too pathetic.
You are pathetic.
Too pathetic.
Okay, anyways. Okay, let me leave it at that. Let the decision makers in the Congress party take their decision. How long are they going to be taking now, as far as the decision is concerned, is frankly up for debate, because we thought by now we'll know that decision. We thought that last evening too, but it hasn't really happened. I thank all of our guests for joining us.